Hadīth 1. Narrated Abi Hurairah, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, used to invoke Allah in his prayer, O Allah, save Ayyash bin Abi Rabi'ah and Salamah bin Hisham and al-Walid bin al-Walid. O Allah, save the weak among the believers. O Allah, be hard upon the tribe of Mudar and inflict years of famine upon them like the famine years of Joseph. Hadīth 2. Narrated on us, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, whoever possesses the following 3 qualities will have the sweetness of faith: 1. The one to whom Allah and his apostle becomes dearer than anything else; 2. Who loves a person and he loves him only for Allah's sake; 3. Who hates to revert to atheism, disbelief, as he hates to be thrown into the fire. Hadīth 3. Narrated Qais, I heard Sa'id bin Zayd saying, I have seen myself tied and forced by Umar to leave Islam, before Umar himself embraced Islam. And if the mountain of Uhud were to collapse for the evil which you people had done to Uthman, then Uhud would have the right to do so. Hadīth 4. Narrated Khabbab bin al-Arat, we complained to Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, about our state, while he was leaning against his sheet cloak in the shade of the Kaaba. We said, will you ask Allah to help us? Will you invoke Allah for us? He said, among those who were before you, a believer used to be seized and a pit used to be dug for him and then he used to be placed in it. Then a saw used to be brought and put on his head which would be split into 2 halves. His flesh might be combed with iron combs and removed from his bones, yet, all that did not cause him to revert from his religion. By Allah, this religion, Islam, will be completed, and triumph, till a rider, traveler, goes from Sana'a, the capital of Yemen, to Hadramaut, fearing nobody except Allah and the wolf lest it should trouble his sheep, but you are impatient. Hadīth 5. Narrated Abu Hurairah, while we were in the mosque, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, came out to us and said, let us proceed to the Jews. So we went along with him till we reached Bait al-Midras, a place where the Torah used to be recited and all the Jews of the town used to gather. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, stood up and addressed them, O assembly of Jews, embrace Islam and you will be safe. The Jews replied, O Abul Qasim, you have conveyed Allah's message to us. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, that is what I want from you. He repeated his first statement for the second time, and they said, you have conveyed Allah's message, O Abul Qasim. Then he said it for the third time and added, you should know that the earth belongs to Allah and his apostle, and I want to exile you from this land, so whoever among you owns some property can sell it, otherwise you should know that the earth belongs to Allah and his apostle. Hadīth 6. Narrated Kansa bint Qadam al-Ansariyah, that her father gave her in marriage when she was a matron and she disliked that marriage. So she came and complained to the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and he declared that marriage invalid. Hadīth 7. Narrated Aisha, I asked the Prophet, O Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, should the women be asked for their consent to their marriage? He said, yes. I said, a virgin, if asked, feels shy and keeps quiet. He said, her silence means her consent. Hadīth 8. Narrated Jabir, a man from the Ansar made his slave a mudabbar. And apart from that slave he did not have any other property. This news reached Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, and he said, who will buy that slave from me? So Nu'aym bin Naham bought him for 800 dirhams. Jabir added, it was a Coptic, Egyptian, slave who died that year. Hadīth 9. Narrated Ibn Abbas, regarding the Quranic verse, O you who believe, you are forbidden to inherit women against their will. Surah 4, Ayah 19. The custom, in the pre-Islamic period, was that if a man died, his relatives used to have the right to inherit his wife, and if one of them wished, he could marry her, or they could marry her to somebody else, or prevent her from marrying if they wished, for they had more right to dispose of her than her own relatives. Therefore this verse was revealed concerning this matter. Hadīth 10. And Safiyyah bint Ubayd said, a governmental male slave tried to seduce a slave girl from the kumus of the war booty till he deflowered her by force against her will, therefore Umar flogged him according to the law, and exiled him, but he did not flog the female slave because the male slave had committed illegal sexual intercourse by force against her will. Az-Zuhri said regarding a virgin slave girl raped by a free man, the judge has to fine the adulterer as much money as is equal to the price of the female slave, and the adulterer has to be flogged, according to the Islamic law, but if the slave woman is a matron, then, according to the verdict of the Imam, the adulterer is not fined but he has to receive the legal punishment, according to the Islamic law. Hadīth 11. Narrated Abu Hurairah, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, the Prophet, Abraham migrated with his wife Sarah till he reached a town where there was a king or a tyrant who sent a message to Abraham, ordering him to send Sarah to him. So when Abraham had sent Sarah, the tyrant got up, intending to do evil with her, but she got up and performed ablution and prayed and said, O Allah! If I have believed in you and in your apostle, then do not empower this oppressor over me. So he, the king, had an epileptic fit and started moving his legs violently. Hadīth 12. Narrated Abdullāh bin Umar, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, a Muslim is a brother of another Muslim. So he should neither oppress him nor hand him over to an oppressor. And whoever fulfilled the needs of his brother, Allah will fulfill his needs. Hadīth 13. Narrated Anas, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, help your brother whether he is an oppressor or an oppressed. A man said, O Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. I will help him if he is oppressed, but if he is an oppressor, how shall I help him? The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, by preventing him from oppressing others, for that is how to help him.